Hi guys, Juice here. I am here with my August book haul for you guys tonight. Tonight I have 23 books to talk about, so this might be a long video, and I hope you like long videos because I love watching long videos, especially if they are book hauls. So like I said, I have 23 books to talk about. I have two stacks. The first stack that I'm going to show you are my new releases, and then the second stack that is bigger than my new releases are books that I bought from Amazon or books that I bought from, or books that I got for trade, because I'm on Facebook now and I joined this Facebook group that you can get for books for trade, and you just get them whenever. And I got a couple books from friends that are wanting to unhaul some stuff. So I'm gonna jump into the new releases first. So the first book on the list is The Black Kids by Christina Hemmings Reed. This is a new book by this author. I believe this is her debut novel, and this came out on August 4th. I hear nothing but amazing things about this book ever since. Like, even people who had arcs of this book, they say they love this book. The summary on the book says, Los Angeles, 1992, Ashley Bennett and her friends are living the charm life. It's the end of senior year, and they're spending more time at the beach than in classrooms. That's all I'm going to read because it's a very, very long summary, but I hear amazing things. And also Brandy Colbert, Tiffany D. Jackson, and Nick Stone all blurbed this book, and I read books by all these authors on the back that blurbed it. So I'm really excited to hopefully read this sometimes this fall. If not, then I'll just save this contemporary for the summertime of next year, because there's definitely a lot of contemporaries in this stack. Let me see if I can put them behind me. Yay. The first book and then the next book that I have is The Dark Tide by Alicia Jasinka. I probably butchered that. I'm so sorry if I did butcher it. This is a debut novel from Source Books Fire. I didn't got this book from them, but I bought this at Barnes & Noble the day it came out. This also came out on August 4th. August 4th was a big release day for the month of August, so just look at this stunning cover. The reason why I bought this was because of the cover, and also the back here. It says, the Witch Queen comes on wings of night. The Witch Queen has your heart delight. Hold him on tight. Hide him out of sight. Like, this just sounds amazing. It's a short fantasy YA standalone novel. It has LGBT characters in here, and it's a standalone, so we love a good standalone novel. Let me see if I can display. The next book I got was the August Owl Crate pick, so if you don't want to know what the August Owl Crate book was, if I can speak tonight, then I would skip till I don't hold it up anymore, and that was Star Daughter by this author. I'm not going to say this author's name because I will probably butcher this author's name. This is a beautiful, stunning purple edges edition of the book, and then we get the letter from the author. This is the letter from the author, and then of course the book is always signed by the author, which is really, really cool because this is the author's debut novel, and I am really excited. I'm actually hoping to read it this week because the buddy read for this on the Facebook group started yesterday, so I got a little bit of catching up to do, but I'm really excited. It's a sci-fi set in space, so, and I need more sci-fi novels, so, and this is just a stunning edition, so there's that. The next book I have, I am super excited to see how this series wrap up, and that is Court of Lions by Samoya Dodd. This is a sequel / finale to the Mirage duology. I read Mirage back in April of this year, and I will be doing an end of the year wrap up type of video like I did for last year, and I'm really excited to see how this duology wraps up. This is a bit shorter than book 1 was, but I'm really excited nonetheless. And again, sequels for me are hard to talk about just because I don't want to spoil you guys of what happened in the first book. So this is a sequel that I just can't wait to get started on. Next book I have is my August book of the month pick, and that was The Night Swim by Megan Golding. This one I feature in my buzzword TBR that I just posted this week, so I'm really excited. I actually just started physically reading this one today when I was home by myself for a little bit, and I physically read it, and I'm like 2 or 3 chapters in. I'm not that far into it, but what I've read of it so far I really enjoyed, so I'm hoping to read more of this during the week and hopefully finish it up before Sunday, because this is on my buzzword TBR. This is adult mystery thriller, and as you can see from my videos recently, I've been trying to branch out to just YA and middle grade. So this is an adult mystery thriller. This has a serial true crime podcast host covering a controversial trial to find herself drawn deep into a small town's dark past and brutal crime that took place there years before. That was hard to read. This sounds really amazing, and I just hear nothing but amazing things about this novel. And the next book I have is Paola Santiago and the Reverb Tears by Taylor K. Mesh. Again, sorry if I butchered this. This is part of the Rick Riordan Presents imprint that he has, and this is a first in a new series. I'm not sure how long this series is going to be, but this, I just am really excited. I love me a good middle grade novel, so this one I know nothing about, that except it's Paola Santiago and her friends are like in middle school, obviously, and so they discover this like space stuff. I don't know, honestly. I'm very bad with my summaries, so I just wanted to show this off in a book haul for you guys. Put that up there. And the next book didn't came out in the month of August, but I figured I would just put it in my new release stack, and that is 10 Things I Hate About Pinkie by Synonym Menon. This is the third and final book in the When Dimple Met Rishi universe, which I read all the books for When Dimple Met Rishi, and I really enjoyed them all. So I haven't read this one yet because I just got this one in August, so hopefully I can read this one soon. Again, it's another YA contemporary, so maybe I can save it for the summertime, because that's when I usually love to read my books. My contemporary books is during the summer. So this is the third installment, so again, it's hard to talk about sequels, but I have this book and I'm really excited. This has been on my wish list since I saw the cover reveal. The second to last book on my new releases stack is one that I actually read and I actually really enjoyed it, and that is Set Fire to the Gods by Sarah Rosh and Kirsten Simmons. I know who Sarah Rosh is. She wrote the Snow Like Ashes trilogy and These Rebel Waves. I haven't read that duology yet, but I just read this in the month of September. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I'll talk more about that in my September wrap-up. Set Fire to the Gods is the first book in a brand new series, and again with these amazing covers. I buddy read this with my friend Lori, and hopefully I will talk more about this in my August wrap-up, which should be, or September wrap-up, sorry. In my September wrap-up, which should be coming very soon. And then the last new release stack that I wanted to show for you guys today is Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. Yes, I bought Midnight Sun, and yes, I don't own all the Twilight Saga books anymore like I used to, but I bought this because it was like 30% off at Target, and I was like, 30% off? It's usually 20%, but I'll take 10% more extra. And I want to buddy read this with my friend Taylor, so hopefully we can start buddy reading this, because this Midnight Sun is a beast. It's so big. It's like 800 and something pages, I think. Should I look without spoiling myself? Oh wow, it's only 600 pages. So it's only 600 pages, but like it looks bigger than that. But I'm really excited to read this nonetheless, even though there's a lot of hate on the Twilight Saga, so there's that. So going on to the books that I got for trade, which will come in a part 2 of this book haul, so I'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the August book haul. As you saw in the first video that I was showing off all the new releases that I got in the month of August. So these are all the books that I shown off already. So I'm going to take them down real quick and make a room for my other books that I'm about to show you. So this book haul, the second half of this book haul, is going to be all the books that I got for trade and books that I bought off of my own Amazon wish list, because you gotta treat yourself sometimes. So I'm going to go through and talk about all the books that I bought myself, or like I said, got books for trade. So the first book I bought for a readathon that's happening in October, my friend Charlie and I, who I keep mentioning a lot on my channel, we decided to host a buddy read / read along for the Nevernight series. So I got the sequel, God's Grave by J. Kristoff. I don't know anything about this because I haven't read book 1 yet, and I don't want to read the summary of book 2 in case it will spoil me for something. So I am hoping that I will love this because I own book 2 now. So I got book 1 back in April, and then I have book 2, so I can marathon this trilogy with Charlie, and I'm really excited to start this readathon in October. The next book I actually just got this weekend, but I wanted to put this in my August book haul because I know I will forget it in my September book haul. And that is Conceal, Don't Feel by Jen Quatella. I'm so sorry. You guys know I'm very bad with names, but this is like book 7 or 8 in the Twisted Tale series. I actually just read one of these Twisted Tale series in September, and I really enjoyed it, so I knew this one was next on my Twisted Tale journey, because I'm not a big fan of Frozen, but just something about this tagline that says, what if Anna and Elsa never knew each other? So it just seemed very interesting, and I hear this can get very dark very quickly, and so I'm also hoping to buddy read this with my friend Taylor sometime. We might be saving it for December just because of the wintry feel of the book, and just because it's winter during December, so hoping to read this, and it's not that long of a novel, so we love that. Next book I'm actually currently reading, and I'm really enjoying this. This was one of the arcs that I got for trade on a Facebook group that I will leave down below if you guys want to join, if you guys have a Facebook, and that is Maya and the Rising Dark by Raina Barron. I actually just watched the launch premiere of her book premiere, I guess, launch panel of her book event. That was so hard to say. I saw her live with one of the other authors that I haven't met yet, but I wanted to meet her, so I was able to watch her Instagram live, and it was very, very fun to watch her and get to hear her speak about Maya and see why she went from a YA author to middle grade, which there's nothing wrong with middle grade. As you guys know, I love reading middle grade, so I'm not that far into this arc. This book came out September 22nd, which was yesterday as I'm filming this, but I wanted to show this off in my August book haul because I got it in August and decided to start reading it in September. I am halfway through the book. I read that much yesterday, so I'm hoping to finish all of this tomorrow, maybe Friday. I'm on chapter 11 out of 29, so I'm really enjoying this, and I'm just hoping to finish this in September so it can be my September wrap-up. That might fall over. Ugh. I don't know if that will fall over or not, but the next book I got from my friend Sherry. Actually, the next 2 books I got was from my friend Sherry, and she was unhauling these books on her Instagram, and I messaged her because I wanted to read more mystery thrillers, and so I asked her if I could get these from her and take these off her hand, and they were in good condition as well. And that is The Last Time I Lie by Riley Sager and The Wife Between Us by Gary Hendrick and Sarah Pekkanen. These 2 author duos are the same author who wrote You Are Not Alone, which I have up here on my Book of the Month shelf. And then Riley Sager is also the author of Home Before Dark and The Lock Every Door and Final Girls. I almost forgot what it was. This one both of these books I'm actually reading in the month of September, hopefully. This was a TBR jar pick for me that my mom picked out of my TBR jar. So hopefully I will like this one, because I read You Are Not Alone recently, and I wasn't a big fan of that one. So, and then the last time I lied was the book club pick for the currently reading book club that Allie from Mrs. Dunn Reads is hosting, and I wanted to read this because this will be my third novel by Riley Sager, and I really enjoy both of these authors' previous work, so I'm hoping to love these two adult mystery thrillers. And the next book I actually read, it's going to be a reread. That's actually kind of creepy to see at night. The next book I actually read, and it's going to be a reread for me, and that is The Red Skull and Magic by Cassandra Clare. This is another Cassandra Clare novel that I have on my TBR shelf. The sequel to this, The Lost Book of the White, just came out this month in September. I wanted to get it, but then I was like, no, I have already got too many books here in my hands, so I'm going to wait till I read a couple of the books that I own. So I did read this last year and I really enjoyed it, so I might do a reread of this when I buy book 2, because I'm actually planning on going book shopping with my friend Taylor next week, so there might be another shopping vlog. Maybe if you guys want to like book shopping day vlog, let me know down below. And this cover is like very blinding with my light in the room. This is the first book in the Eldest Curses trilogy, and all I know is that this follows Alec and Magnus, and I just can't wait to dive back into this world, reread the first book, and then read book 2 for the first time. The next book I am very excited that I bought, and the reason why is because I just read the first book back in August, and I will be having my August wrap-up coming soon. And for the sequel that I bought was The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. This is a sequel to Mistborn: The Final Empire. I am super excited that I finally read The Final Empire, that I'm able to read this one soon. I definitely want to have this read by the end of the year, just because I want to try and finish out this trilogy by the end of the year. So I hear nothing but amazing things that book 2 gets even better, because I was telling people who I was talking on Twitter and all that, I was like, I love Mistborn, but it was also very slow at some parts. And they said this has a lot more action, and it's a lot more fast-paced reading experience. So I was like, yes, I love that. And it's more character-driven instead of plot-driven, which I also love in books. So we love that. And then the next book is another sequel that I bought at Barnes & Noble. I bought this and The Well of Ascension the same day. Of course it falls backward. And that is Night of the Dragon by Julie Kagawa. This one I've shown off in my buzzword TBR as well, because the buzzword for this round is night. So I'm hoping to read this one this week because it's pretty short, and I'm really excited and scared to see how this trilogy ends. Just because I hear nothing but amazing things about this third and final book, but it's also very short, so I'm also scared and excited and nervous, like all the emotions for this finale, and I hope this trilogy wraps up very, very nicely. Probably not, because book 2 ended on a little cliffhanger. The next book I am actually currently reading, and it's on my buzzword TBR as well, and that is The Midnight Lie by Marie Rukowski. This is the first book in a new duology by Marie Rukowski. She's the same author as the Winter's Curse trilogy, which I read when I was in high school, like 2 years ago. I read it 2 years ago, and I really loved it. So I'm already like 50 pages into it, so I'm not that far into it, but I'm really enjoying what I read of it so far. So hopefully this will be my September wrap-up sometime soon. I've got to put this down below. You won't be able to see them. The next book that I have is The Book of Dust by Philip Pullman. This is the first book in a new trilogy by Philip Pullman. I actually got this book in the Facebook Books for Trade group that I mentioned earlier when I was talking about Maya and the Rising Dark. The same person had this on sale, so I was able to take this off her hand, and she was able to give it to someone who would actually want to read this book. Been trying to read this book ever since I finished the Golden Compass trilogy a couple years back, and just never had an interest in like actually reading it. But now that I have like a physical copy of this, I feel like I would actually read this one soon, and hopefully I will love it as much as I loved the Golden Compass series. And then in my part 1 of this book haul, I shown off the Night Swim as my August book of the month pick, and then for my August add-on book, I picked The Whisper Man by Alex North. As you guys know, if you watch my July wrap-up, you guys know that I love The Shadows by Alex North, so I wanted to see what his first book was like in order to see if I will love Alex North as an author. So I'm saving this for October, so this is a sneak peek into my October TBR. I'm hoping to read a lot of spooky books and mystery thrillers in the month of October, so we love a good theme. And I know nothing about this except it's an adult mystery thriller, and this cover is just creepy enough on its own. And then getting down to the last 3 books that I have for this haul, the first one out of the 3 is A Blade So Black by L.L. McKinney. This is the first book in a new trilogy by this author. I've been hearing nothing but amazing reviews about this one. This is an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and I really love Alice in Wonderland, so I'm really excited to see how that will take place in this magical realism world. That was hard for me to say. This is the first book in a trilogy, like I said, and book 2 is already out, and then book 3 will hopefully come out in April next year, I think, sometimes next year. Really excited to read this, and again, this is on my fall TBR, so you guys are getting a little sneak peek. And then the second to last book I have for this haul is Deviated by J. Kristoff. This is the second book in the Lifelike series. I actually read Lifelike, and I actually have it right here. I read Lifelike in June or July, one of the 2 months. I read it very recently, so I bought book 2 as soon as I finished with reading book 1, and book 3 just came out in the month of June of this year, so I'm really excited to see how this trilogy wraps up, and hopefully I will really like another series by J. Kristoff, because he seems to be becoming a favorite author of mine very quickly. So really excited to see where this series takes off from book 1. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this series continues and see if I would still like this one or not. And then the last book that I have is my graphic novel, and I read this month in the month of September, so this would definitely be my September wrap up, and that is Fence Volume 1, and I actually read Volume 2 in September, so I'll be talking about Volume 1 and 2 in the month of September. This one I didn't really love as much as I loved it the first time I gave it 5 stars, because it's an LGBT romance between 2 male characters in this story, and there's 4 volumes out now, and the reason why I'm rereading this graphic novel series is because I want to read book 4, and I think book 4 comes out next week, so maybe if I go book shopping with my friend Taylor, I will be able to buy that for me to continue on with this series. So I really love this series. This is what the artwork looks like. This is the artwork in case anyone was interested in. I really enjoyed this first 2 volumes, and I'm hoping to reread Volume 3 soon, and then hopefully pick up Volume 4 when it comes out next week. So there you have it. Those are all the books that I got in the month of August. I had to split this up into 2 different videos. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you have a great day or night, and I will talk to you guys down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys with another video very soon, and have a good night. Bye.